He walks, as in the path he trod, as the Spirit is all over me, guiding me safely in the way. I am the apple of his eye. I am the joy that's in his heart. I am the smile that spreads his face, and is guiding me safely in the way.
Hi guys. Hi. Hello BC. Thank you for joining me.
Your spirit is all over.
Thank you.
And you're guiding me safely
Thank you.
in the way.
Thank you BC. Thank you Dr. Cece. Thank you. Thank you Pastor Summer. Our guest is here. Thank you. I'll just wait 1 minute more for people to join us. Thank you guys for joining. God bless you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How are you guys doing? And today is the last day in April. Oh, you can't hear me? Wow. Can you hear me now? Please let me know if you can hear me. Wow. Please, can you hear me? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Can you hear me, please? Let me know. Can you hear me? Please, can you let me know if you can hear me, please? Oh, you can hear me. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Hello. Thank you for, okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the response. Thank you for joining me, guys. I'm so excited tonight, and I hope you guys are fine, because I'm very fine over here. So I hope you're fine. I hope you're doing fine. I hope everything is all right. Happy Sunday and happy last day in April. Tomorrow is New Month, and we are entering another month. We thank God. We bless God for keeping us. Yeah. Please kindly help me share if you can. I'm trying to share also for people to join us. I know most times people come back to watch this live. I have a lot of views afterwards, but we have few people that they're always online. But you can still help me share with people, share with your friends, let them come online, let them join us for tonight. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to send right. So yeah, thank you so much. So thank you, Mr. Agbemi, for joining. Thank you, guys. I celebrate you. So we're going to be starting now. I hope people will join us as we continue. Since the inception of this program, we'll be talking about self-esteem, and we've been able to talk about different sides to these things, and self-esteem is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal in our society today, and it's something we need to pay attention to. It's something we really need to dig deep into. And I want to appreciate all my guests and everyone that has been supporting this program since its inception. I thank you all. It has been an awesome session, to be honest. It has been an awesome session. I have a lot of feedbacks from people, questions and all of that. And so we've been able to talk about breaking out. I think our first topic was breaking out of childhood trauma relating to self-esteem. That was the first topic. And we also spoke about broken marriage or single parenting and the effect on self-esteem. Then we spoke about the impact of financial incapabilities or deficiencies in the family and the impact on self-esteem. Then last week we were able to talk about different factors, both environmental situations that can affect our self-esteem. So we've been able to talk about all of these things, like talk about all the aspects, all everything, all those causes and all of that. I mean, the causes of self-esteem, the root cause. We've been able to deal with all of these things, and I'm sure that we are all blessed, and it has been an awesome session. It has been an awesome session. We really thank God for that. And so tonight we'll be rounding up this whole topic of self-esteem, and the topic for tonight is building a healthy self-esteem and healing for the soul. I know that so many of us are still in the journey. We are still in that journey of healing and going through, this whole self-esteem thing. We are still going through that. Some of us are still even going through it, and some are, some have passed the process, that stage of discovering themselves and all of that, and some are just in that process of healing. So tonight, I trust God that God is going to be ministering healing to us in any way we've been hurt growing up, and in any way we've been affected with our self-esteem. Tonight, I know that God is going to be sending healing to our soul. He's going to be healing souls tonight. That's what he promised tonight. And I know he's going to be healing souls tonight. He's going to be liberating souls tonight. And I'm so happy to... I don't know if you can still hear me, guys. Please let me know if you can still hear me. Please just drop a message so that I will know if you guys can still hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. So guys, today we'll be rounding up this whole thing, self-esteem, topic of self-esteem. Guys, can you hear me, please? Can you hear me, please? Let me know. I'll just wait for the response before I proceed. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody respond? Can anyone respond? Can you hear me, please? Can't get any response. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So today, without wasting our time, thank you guys for joining me. God bless you. Thank you so much. So without wasting much of our time, today we'll be talking about how to build a healthy self-esteem and healing for the soul. Like I said, healing for the soul. So many of us are hurt. So many people are in that process and in that stage of healing, and tonight God is going to be ministering healing to us. And so tonight I have with me a very a special woman. She's a great and powerful woman of God. She's my music director in church here in the UK, and she's a business relationship manager. She's a pastor. She's a writer. She's a speaker. She's a blessed woman of God. Like, if you're thinking of anything that is working, like a system that is working, think about her. She's everything. Like, she's everything. I can tell you she's an example of a phenomenal woman. Like, she's phenomenal. She's everything. And tonight she'll be joining us to talk about this topic. She's no other person than Pastor Summer Shijoke Ofojim. If your hands are not too busy, please can you just help me type and just celebrate her and just welcome her tonight. So please, Pastor Summer, please can you send me a request so I can add you to this live. So guys, let me celebrate her. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me celebrate her. Thank you, Dr. Prissy. Thank you for joining me. Fala Obi, Mr. Obi, everyone, like, thank you, Risaya, for joining me. I celebrate you. Guys, just let me celebrate this woman of God. Let me celebrate her with your emojis. Celebrate the grace of God in her life. It's not easy, you guys. Celebrate her. Yeah, thank you so much. She sent me the request already. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to accept her now. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, here comes our woman of God, our beautiful woman of God. Good to see you, ma. Good to see you. And thank you so much. Thank you for honoring this invitation. Thank you for leaving. I know you're very busy and all of that. And thank you so much for, you know, I've been sparing this time to speak to us and to minister to people tonight. And we are so excited about what God is going to do tonight. Yeah, she's got the most beautiful smile. I can tell you. She's got the most beautiful smile. Like, I can tell you, like, I'm learning how to smile from Pastor Soma, honestly. I'm learning how to smile. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys. How are you doing, Pastor Soma? How are you doing today? Welcome, ma.
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Sister Dami, the major phenomenal lady. Thank you. I'm well.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So I will just be giving you time to actually talk. I'll like maybe inform. It may not be in form of interview tonight because I know there's a lot to say and all of that. So I just don't waste time. So tonight, guys, let's just welcome her and she just speak about how to build a healthy self-esteem and ministry healing to ourselves for tonight. So over to you, Pastor Soma.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this live. Some people here I know. Dr. Cece, Dr. Bemi, BC, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
And yeah, every other person who is here as well. Thank you all for joining. Hi Chantel, hi Fola.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining. It's a blessing to be here. As a matter of fact, as I've actually been a bit nervous, not because I didn't know what to say, but because I take every opportunity to speak and share God's word, be it before a large crowd or within a sort of medium compact gathering, as a very important assignment, because sometimes it might just be one person who needs to hear something that would help them improve their lives. So let me start by saying I will be making several scripture references today to what I'm saying, but I want you to see this as not just preaching, but about a crucial conversation. I appreciate the fact that it's not just women that are here. So I will tailor. Hi, Praise, one of my friends. Thank you for joining.
Hi guys. Thank you, Toshi.
Thank you.
Oh, Kayode, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I will be speaking on, like Sister Dami said, building self-esteem, a healthy self-esteem. People, let me warn you as well, even though I am called pastor, I am very
Thank you,
plain
guys.
and explicit with some of the things I say. So they're all adults here. So I'm going to be very plain and explicit and say it as I'm led to say the real things that really affects people. So I'll go straight to the point. But talking about self-esteem, while I was thinking about this, I realized that there are about 3 major insecurities that affect people's self-esteem. One of the main insecurities, the foundational insecurity that affects people, is insecurity about identity. A lot of people we find try to find their identity in other things. Some women, in fact, I saw a very interesting post about 3 different categories of girls in Lagos. And many of you, I know some people may not have been to Lagos here, and they said they were the, what do they call these girls? The baddies. That's the ones who have money, the ones who wear bone straight hair and all that. And then they have the civilians. That's the ones who hustle 9 to 5. Then they have the Amoteco, the ones who date Yahoo boys. So it was funny. It made me laugh. But I realized that a lot of people, and most especially women, base their identity on what they have and what they do. Now, although what you have and what you do is sometimes a crucial part of your identity, sometimes that's the only way some people identify you. The challenge with basing your identity on what you have is that it makes you forget that life goes in seasons. And therefore, if you are at any point where you lose that thing you have, then you struggle with your identity. For example, a lot of people, let's use the woman in the Bible. Nobody knows her name. What was her name? The woman with the issue of blood. Her condition became her identity. A lot of us now might be in a situation that we've known that situation for so long. You find some women being called barren woman, but that's not who she is.
Right.
Now, this can go positive or negative. Some of us glory ourselves in, oh, I'm a classy chick. That's all my clothes are, I'm a hot chick. I am this and that. What if fire catches your house when you go out? This is not me being negative. Don't get me wrong. Then who are you? Who are you when that happens? Okay, your father is rich. What if your father loses all his money? Or your husband is rich. What if he loses all his money in a time? So identity is not yours to create. It was already there before you were born. It's yours to discover. My biblical reference for that is Jeremiah 1:5. It says, before you were even born, I knew you. God knew who you were. You might be a medical doctor, you might have a PhD. These things are great. You might have, in fact, we have people who, if you don't address them by the correct title, is a problem. It's these things will make life difficult for you. And then we've got those people. The reason why a poor identity leads people to insecurity is that you are in a place sometimes where you compare yourself with others. And then you find that someone owns maybe things that you aspire to, but you don't have. And then you have a problem with that. And then you think your identity is less. But it's just like an aeroplane wanting to be a Range Rover. They don't have the same identity. So sometimes you're an aeroplane, but you envy the Range Rover. And sometimes you are a Range Rover, but you envy the aeroplane. If you understand that who you are in terms of identity and purpose is already set, and it's in walking with God that you understand that. Two wrong places that people find identity, which is wrong, is in trends. Some people say, I'm a Leo. This is how people behave. And then all friends, so all my friends are this. And then sometimes you struggle to keep up with things that are not even meant to be yours. So that's one of the things that's a detriment to healthy self-esteem. And one of the ways to heal that is walking in the light of who God has called you to be. And you can't walk in that light if you don't even know the person who's made you. If you don't know the person who's made you, you will never be able to understand all you can do and who you are. And so even though you might be better, there's this story about the ugly duckling, I think, that was always, I think it's a cartoon or a nursery rhyme where there was a bird that was different. He was moved with the ducklings and was called the ugly duckling. And in the end, he found out he wasn't even a duckling at all. He was a swan. That's why he wasn't white. So sometimes in a place where you think you're ugly, I mean, this is the UK. Now we are seeing people dark skinned, they are being called rich skin tones. But we still have people who want to wash it. I saw a video where people were literally using acid to wash themselves off to look, yes, to look white. Anyway, I'll get to that. I don't want to blend into that. So yes, that's the common one. Then the second thing that affects people's self-esteem, that makes them struggle with a healthy self-esteem, is the crisis around capacity. When I say capacity, one of the major, especially women, and I know men are here, but especially women, capacity mostly in terms of intelligence. And you see this starting even from nursery, primary school. You find out that the people who are regarded as the bookworms, as the scholars, as the bright people, or at least middle, are seen in a certain way. And then you feel like, oh, some people, you see somebody say, I don't know book. Oh, you see people say, I don't like maths. What do you mean you don't like maths? In a world where there's calculators, seriously. Say, I don't know English. I know too sabi. I'm sorry to say. You hear people say that to themselves. But when you say these things, some of us look at people, when people speak on television, and when people maybe coordinate themselves in a way that looks like, oh, this person is brilliant. We're like, we are, sometimes if we're in a class, we are shattered. We are like, I want to be like this person. Some people even make up their mind that they can never be like this person. Some of you, when you were in school, why you did not get first class is because you said that first class is not for you.
All right.
It's not because you just told yourself. So you read the kind of book that second class people read, and that's exactly what you collected and left. Instead of asking yourself, what are these systems? What makes people different? And that's because people, number one, don't understand the true source of capacity. One. And number two, the true nature of capacity. I want to go to Job 32:8. I don't know if you can help me go to Job 32:8. Let's see what the true source of capacity is. Yeah, thank you. Please read it from when you get there.
My Bible has
No problem.
It has Yoruba.
At all. I'm just gonna.
So Job,
while you're waiting,
Job what, please?
Job chapter 32 verse 8.
32.
Sorry, give me a second, guys. I need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I just need to plug in the phone.
Okay.
Was beginning to die. Yeah. Once you're there, please.
So Job 32.
8.
Okay. So it says Job 32. Okay, but there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding.
Great, thank you very much. So you see, the problem with people, the reason why people struggle with capacity is that they are looking for capacity within themselves. Now, you are a conduit for capacity, but you're not the source. And I'll explain that to you. Now, for us to understand, one, the source and the nature of capacity, I want you to think of yourself as a tap or a pipe, and the source being the river. God is the source. It is a God that gives you the understanding. It is, but while I'm speaking, please go to Isaiah 54, 1-5. I want to read something again, and I'll explain. God gives you that capacity. So the tap is not where the water is from. You receive water from the tap. People see intelligence from what you speak, from what you write, but that's not the source. So the moment people, how you know it's not the source is, there was one time I had a plumbing issue in my house, and once they went to the mains to turn it off, my tap suddenly became dry. So some of us are seeking capacity, but divorced literally from the source, and then we are dry because of that. So that's the nature of capacity. Number one is that it comes from a source. Sometimes the devil can give some people a certain level of capacity, but he's not the original source. He always takes something in exchange when he gives you a certain capacity. It's only the gifts of calling and calling of God that are without repentance. Now, the nature of capacity, and this is where people struggle with it, is capacity can be built. Capacity can be expanded. Capacity can be increased. Now, let's read Isaiah 54, 1-5, please. Please read it for me.
Okay. Isaiah 51 or
54, 1-5, please.
54, 1-5.
Yeah.
So it says, sing, O barren, thou didst not bear, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing, and cry aloud, that thou didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord. Enlarge the place of thy tent.
Hold on.
And let, okay.
Yes, listen to that. Now, please take your time to read this. It says what? Enlarge the place of thy tent. I want to explain to you, when you read that place, there are a few things it says. Now, for you to understand it, the Hebrews or the Israelites in the olden days, they didn't build houses with mud and brick or things that are difficult to move. The reason is they believed in expansion. So the house you have when you have one child is different from the house you have when you have 10 children. So they always had their houses knocked down in pegs so that they can always increase. Continue reading, please.
Enlarge the place of their tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thy inhabitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For thou shalt break forth. For thou
thank you.
shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you very much. So please go and read the rest and understand. But there are a few things I want you to understand from there. It says, lengthen your cords, increase yourself. A lot of us want to be really queens and reign, but our character is anything but royal. Our habits are anything but royal. Our eating is anything but royal. Our dressing is anything but royal. There are very, very few things that people cannot learn. To speak well, you can learn. To sing well, you can learn. To dress well, you can learn. Everybody has the right attitude and the aptitude to actually study anything. Anything. It's just for you to sit down and understand your learning style and apply it. I remember when I was studying a very difficult course, reading, this thing did not enter my head. I struggled. Then I realized that I'm a very strong auditory learner. So I made my notes into voice note. I had straight A's. Some people don't have the patience for that kind of rubbish, but maybe they don't need that. So it still goes back to your identity. Once you understand the kind of person you are, understand yourself. It may take one person 5 minutes to do it, and it may take you 1 hour, but do it. There are some people who arrive at success slightly later than each other. Success is success, and your timeline is your timeline. But if you do not build your capacity, your dream will remain a dream. I'm going to try and explain this again with the capacity of the tap. Now, if the tap is this narrow, that is the mouth of the tap is this narrow, no matter what you do, this amount of water cannot come out, more than this amount of water cannot come out per time. But once you begin to increase your capacity, when you are now at this level, more water. When you're now at this level, more water. So what most people think is themselves being, oh, I'm not beautiful enough. Who said you're not beautiful enough? In a season where somebody can do skincare, take care of themselves. What are you saying? It's not possible for that to even happen. If you understand that everything can be built, everything can be developed, everything can be structured to a certain place. I don't want to start telling stories of so many people who came from nothing. But you see, there was this TikTok challenge. I liked it for something. I think they were using this. Now, what did you see? You would see that some people, when they started, some of them were looking like scarecrow. But give them 10 years. Give them few years. People don't even remember that Jacob was 75 years old and a very useless human being when he went to Laban. Yes, he didn't have anything. 75 years old, no get wife. He didn't have money. His mother was still making stew for him. Nothing. But give him 21 years of what? Going to learn, going to build capacity, going to work. Unfortunately, we live in a time where people want to walk in the glory but don't want to work for it. You see people at the top and you say, oh, I want to be them. You follow them on Instagram. You DM them and ask them to be your mentor. But you don't do anything that they do. So please, once again, I'll say, once you understand the origin and the nature of capacity, nothing that God has destined for you is beyond you. Now, the third thing I want to talk about in building a healthy self-esteem. Now, I said it because this is the most shallow, but it's the most visible. And even as shallow as it sounds, it has a huge impact on people. I have seen it and I understand it. Appearance. Now, I call it appearance. I don't call it beauty, because I say appearance because there are so many people, male or female, that are struggling with just understanding themselves. Read for yourselves when you have the time Psalm 139 verse 14 that says, thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. You are not, some people just focus on the fact that they are beautiful. For me, I don't think a Hummer Jeep is a beautiful car, but Hummer Jeep does not care. Hummer Jeep is more expensive than 13 Toyota Camrys.
Right.
But it is not fine. But some of us focus on the world's identity. 13914, not 129. Psalm 13914. I'm just putting the correction. Yeah. See. So some of us focus so much on who we are seeing, and most times when we are deciding whether or not we are fine, we always say, I'm as fine as this, or I'm not as fine as this person, or at least I'm finer than this person. Both are wrong. Both are wrong and very unfortunate. Because you need to understand, God created you the way he created you for a purpose. And I said I would take time to say this today to every woman. So women are struggling, oh, I'm too short, I'm too short. What do you want to do about it? Oh, I'm too tall. What do you want to do about it? You are who you are, and God gave you your particular statistics for a reason. There's a certain level of pressure your own body can take for a reason.
Yeah.
Your nose is shaped the way it is shaped for a reason. Because God is the most intentional being ever. He did not make a mistake, even with your receding hairline. I know it sounds funny, but yes, everything you are, all that you are, is wonderfully complex for a purpose. I want to give you an assignment. If you haven't done it before, do it. Find a full-length mirror somewhere or somehow. Take your time, you alone. Look at yourself from head to toe. Look very well. When I say look at yourself, don't look at yourself very well. Some of us just call it self-appreciation assignment. Some of us don't even know our shape. How I know people don't know their shape is the kind of things people wear. Yes. Because everybody, that's physical body, is beautiful if you understand it and understand how to dress it like royalty. Some of you are pear-shaped. Some of you are rectangular shaped. Some of you are hourglass. Some of you you understand your fat legs are not going anywhere. You know. But God created you. Maybe he created those fat legs so that you can carry a certain type of weight. If you're a scientist, you understand these things. Some of us, oh, my leg is too fat. Oh, my leg. Oh, cut it now. I'm spending a bit of time so you understand this. Understand, number one, when you're looking at yourself, what's your body type? If you are a size 12, size 14, size 16, stop trying to squeeze into a size 10. Clothes are meant to serve you. You're not meant to serve clothes. And then understand sometimes the kind of hair that fits you. The type of makeup that fits you. It might take a journey, but you will know. And I have to say this, sometimes the type of problems women have sometimes is, you know the right thing that fits you. Then you see online that Kim Kardashian is now wearing bone straight. And your shape of head is not good for bone straight, but you go and buy it. Because let me stop there. So, please, finally, one accessory that works on every shape of face, every body, every human being is a smile. People do not know that you actually learn how to smile. Because some kind of smile is...
I'm a witness to that. I'm a witness. A witness to that.
Please, actually, you actually need to learn. Not just learning to smile, like smile regularly, but look in the mirror and find the smile that represents you properly. It's an assignment. Don't just open your teeth. Smile is not the act of opening your teeth. It's the act of presenting a cheerful countenance that is contagious. So smile is just for no. It's presenting a cheerful countenance that's contagious. Just look at, I'm not just saying it for myself, it's in the Bible, Proverbs 15:13. Someone should read it for me. Because that will lead me to the next part of what I want to discuss.
Proverbs
15, 1513. 1513.
Proverbs 15:13.
While she's opening that, I remember one time I went to a place. I went to a reception. I didn't know my way, but it was I was invited by my former boss in an oil company to this, high profile event. And the reception, they will teach them to frown so that anybody that's not meant to be there will not be able to enter. Immediately I just got close to the door. I just presented a $1 million smile. She just started smiling. Oh, how can I help you, ma? But if I had gone to I know how to frown, so I know how to keep my face strong. But when you keep your face, you present a smile, you calm everywhere down. especially as a lady, especially you just calm places down when you learn it. So please read.
A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken.
Thank you. So that would lead me to the next thing I want to talk about. A merry heart or a smile makes a cheerful countenance. I already explained all of that to you. If people don't realize, but one of the things they said about David when he was not around, they said, oh, he's talented and he has a cheerful countenance. Some of you, your face is strong, like 3 days eba. My goodness, please, let's work on that. It can really, and you may not realize it, but it can be off-putting at times, even for people who genuinely want to reach out to you for good reasons. I know some people do it to protect themselves. I understand that because I'm a woman. But trust me, you can be beautiful and kind and yet be fearful. People know not to mess with you, even though you're smiling. If you know how to draw your boundaries well, but have a smile. The God we serve is the lamb and he's the lion. We can be that as well. Right. So, but the second part says a sorrowful heart shows us a wounded spirit. I'm going to be talking about healing for the soul. And many of us, this is something that is very, let's say, common amongst many people. Men, women, children alike. People are wounded. People are walking around with wounded souls. Take a few moments to explain to us how people actually come about with wounded souls and what this can do to them. The first one is sin committed. When people do things that are wrong. That's not the only thing, but sometimes, for example, when you use something very easy and very common to understand, not just the big things. For example, when you become a liar, it starts by telling one simple lie, and then you become, over time, a pathological liar. The problem with that is when a person becomes a chronic liar, someone in the Bible is referred to as the father of lies, Satan. What it does to liars is suddenly you can't even differentiate the truth from the lie. And you find that a person who is a chronic liar believes that their lie is the truth. So it goes from a place you can control to a place you can no more control. So when you find people who are pathological liars, don't get angry at them. They've lost control. And sometimes you have to actually say to them, no, that's not true. Because they will lie with such conviction. If you're not strong, you'll be wondering, but they've actually lost control. So extend grace to them while they're on their place. But what does the sins we commit? Another example is a person who decides, for example, to go on narcotics or to engage in this new age practices of, the people have modernized witchcraft now, energy, tarot cards, all these things. They invite demons into their life, and sins committed leads to a damaged spiritual ecosystem over time. That's what it leads to. The second thing that many people struggle with, and this one is a bit tricky, so it leads to a damaged spiritual system. That's what that leads to. The second thing people struggle with is sinful legacies, and I'll explain that. Some of us, for example, may come from a home where immorality is tolerated. And no one may have committed immorality with you in the home, but because immorality is tolerated, you begin to feel that immorality is fine. And that passes a legacy to you. Or in a home where your mother never respected your father. And because your mother never respected your father, you also don't have any iota of respect for your husband. Or you come from a house where your father is not talking to his brother, your mother is not talking to her sister. You two, you come, you marry husband, you cause division. Everybody, you are the one always bringing fight. So they may not have sat you down to say, this is how to be a problematic human being. But because you have grown in that legacy, you now carry a legacy of sin into your life, and that leaves you wounded without you even knowing it. I'm saying this today because I thank God at least most people here are at least above 18. You will be a parent. Please make up your mind to be the person that will break the cycle. Make sure you're not going to pass it down to your children by saying today to God, Lord, if there's anything in my heart. Some of us come from, and like I said before, some of us come from a cycle where the women in our family are not smart. Yes, only the boys. Your father has PhD, but your mother does nothing, only to cook. I'm not saying cooking is bad. I'm not also saying that they don't have, that there's not, that it is not honorable to cook and do things. But what I'm saying is, when your identity has been framed in such a way that you're not allowed to be different. That's what I'm saying. I'm not putting people down in a certain way, saying, okay, no, cooking, and in fact, sometimes cooking is more stressful than reading books. But God is helping us, So when you live in a house, in a family where, I'm trying to think of different things, where you had a mother or father that never speaks up for themselves. You look in the house and you think, oh, this is how everything will be. Any rubbish that happens, if the devil is going to oppress me, we'll just stay and be enduring it small. Some of you live in a house where obesity is a problem. Because the bar that your mother gives you, 3-5 people can finish it. Now they've not put it in your, they've not sat down to say to you, live unhealthy. But in your house, they've not used 7 spoons of milk. And in fact, especially in Nigeria, the more you are respected, the more meat you are given. Whether it increases your cholesterol levels or not. Only you 7 meat because you are the firstborn. So these things, people don't understand. Why am I talking about food? The Bible says people who their belly is their God, they have a problem. So these little things we see, some of us come from a home where people are insensitive to others. They don't have patience. And then we just unconsciously carry that. And then when we come out and meet better, we don't understand it. When we come out and see better, I read a story yesterday of a woman. No, I listened to a story that was shared with me of a woman who, her husband said that he was going to be sleeping with her every day. And she didn't like it. She went to her mother. Didn't want her mother said to her, go to a herbalist and lock his manhood. So that whenever you want to sleep with him, you open it. Whenever you don't want, you lock it. And unfortunately, something happened, and then that padlock got missing. It was locked and it got missing. Anyway, the summary is, please, let's also, one, watch the sinful legacies that have been passed to us. And number 2, watch that we don't pass any sinful legacies to our children. Then finally, the third one, I'll try and be quick now because I'm conscious of the time, is sinful offenses committed against us. Now, this one is tricky, but I'll go here because I need to go here. Some of us were abused as children, and we've never mentioned it to anyone, but it's a wound we're carrying in our heart. Some of us may have not been sexual abuse, might have been verbal abuse. Might be your mother or your father, or not having a parent present might have left a void in your heart. Some of us have been in relationships where you've dealt with a very evil person who has shattered your heart and destroyed your hope in humanity. And the problem with that is a wounded soul does not judge accurately. A wounded soul lives in error. Some of us hate Yoruba men because the 5 Yoruba men we have dated have been demons indeed. And because of that, to you, once you hear my name is Sheung, God forbid. My name is God forbid. My name is Shegun, God forbid, I bind you. And that person might actually be the person meant for you, but because of previous experiences that we have, sometimes they blind us. A wounded soul, most especially, that continues to bleed without healing, can bleed to death. But by the grace of God, God will help us to heal. I'm just going to share these quick scriptures with us. Psalm 147 verse 3 says, God binds up our wounded soul. And Jeremiah 17:4 says, heal me, Lord, and I will be healed. And the one I love the most, Psalm 23, the one we know, the Lord is my shepherd. He restores my soul. The steps you need to have your soul healed. Yes, therapy may help you a bit. And yes, I don't discount them. They're good at their job. But the true healing of the soul was the mission that Christ came to fulfill. A lot of people think, oh, he came to die. But the Bible says, when it talks about infirmity, if you notice, there was a lady who was sick, and he said, no, it was the guy who was at the pool. He said, your sins have been forgiven, and he was healed. Some of the things we're struggling with today are infirmities of the soul that can actually be visible in the body. So 3 steps in line with what I've said. For sin committed, receive the forgiveness that Christ has given to you. You don't have to work for it anymore, but you actually need to open your eyes. Leviticus 17 will tell you that every time there is a wounded soul, the blood of God there will need to be blood to atone for a wounded soul. The truth is that when there is wound, blood is shed. And for every blood shed, another blood has to be shed. So that is why the truth is that many people are waiting for vengeance before they can sleep. And that's where there's a problem. Because the longer you wait for vengeance for your wounded soul, the more your own wounded soul continues to bleed. That person has done you wrong. Some of them even forget, and you are bleeding. So number 1, receive forgiveness for your soul. And number 2, for those of us who have done some kind of terrible things, my brother, my sister, forgive yourself. Let it go. Because until you forgive yourself, you will continue to look at yourself in the mirror. Oh my God, I've slept with 20 men. What are you going to do? Can you turn back the hands of time? You cannot, but you can receive forgiveness, which then heals you. And finally, like I've already said, forgive others. Forgive them. Because the biggest problem people have is there's a reason why God says vengeance is mine. Because we don't have the capacity to exact the right amount of vengeance. I was recently reading the story of David and Saul, and I saw the part where Saul was trying to kill David, and then God put Saul in a place where David could have killed him easily. Some of us would have just sliced his neck. Fiam! There were so many reasons. After all, he's trying to kill me. They will say it's self-defense. God already said I'll be king. But sometimes that thing that is good is not necessarily of God. That thing that is reasonable is not necessarily of God. If you notice, his soldiers were telling him, This is your chance. Strike off your enemy. Some of us, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but some of us take so much time fighting the wrong enemy. Your family member may have done something to you under the influence of a demon. Who that family member, sometimes when a person sins, they open up a portal for the devil to use them. So in that moment, they may have opened up a portal for the devil to attack you through them. And instead of you to open your spiritual eyes and be led by the Holy Spirit to understand what's happening, you're fighting a person who is also fighting for their wounded soul. I pray that God helps us to understand this today. And if I've said all of these things and you don't have a relationship with Christ, you are far at the edge of a wounded soul, but it's not the end for you. You can contact Dami at the end of the live, or contact me and we can talk more about receiving Christ and healing your soul. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Wow.
Yeah, that is the end.
Oh God. Wow. What an awesome time in God's presence. To be honest, like, a lot have been said tonight. A lot that we need to, after this live, soak in, read, listen. In fact, some of us need to come back to this video and just listen, and it's really been an awesome time with you, Mark. Thank you so much for this, for wisdom, because these are wisdoms that are coming out from you. Thank you so much for this wisdom. Thank you. We believe that this is God's mind and this is God's heart for someone here tonight, and I know that God is already doing that, which is here to do for us tonight. Yeah. So I don't know if fighting a person. Yeah. So guys, I know you are blessed. I know you're blessed tonight. If you have any question before we end this live, if you have any question you want to ask, please can you just you can send me a DM and just drop the message, or you can just drop it and type your message, your question, then she can just, can we have part 2? Can we have part 2? Okay. Do you want part 2, guys? Because actually, as we were speaking, I just feel you have a lot to still say. Like, I know we are restricted because of the time, but I know there's a lot to still say. But I don't know. Can we bring Pastor back? Yeah, so I'm going to bring her back. Like, honestly. Thank you so much, guys. Indeed, she has been a blessing to us tonight. Like, I'm blessed as well. I'm blessed. She's not done. Yeah, I can tell she's not done because there's a lot to say. So I think I'm going to be bringing her back. I'm going to just, we'll be bringing Pastor Summer back. So maybe it's not going to be a part 2 of this. Building a healthy self-esteem and still healing for this. Because I feel she has a lot to say, but because of the timing and all of that. So yeah, we can just pause for tonight and we'll come back again with another part. Yeah. So you can listen, you can go back and listen again and listen, yeah. So if you have any question, guys, you can just drop your thank you so much. Thank you, Toshi. I celebrate you. Thank you. You can drop your message, your question now. If you have any question, please just drop your questions, and we will bring her back. I promise. We're going to be having a part 2 because I have a witness that this woman has a lot to say. Like, there's a lot to say on this topic, but because of the timing today, but yeah, we're going to be bringing her back. If you have any questions, please, I want you to just drop it. If you have any questions, drop it. We're just waiting for us. And someone is sending. So if you have any question, do you want to ask a question at a classic tongue? Do you have any question you want to ask? Because I'm seeing that you're sending me a request. Do you want to ask a question? You can drop it. If you have a question, you can just drop the question here. Just type it, then we're going to see it. Then
I think she may have just typed it in error or something.
Oh, okay.
That's actually my auntie.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, ma. We celebrate you, ma. Thank you, ma. So, guys, I think, I don't know, nobody's sending any question. Okay, I think we have one now. What if you think you're healed, but certain things are triggers for you, still regarding self-esteem? So this person is asking that if you think you're healed, but there's still some triggers, that is still affecting his or her self-esteem. I mean, our self-esteem. So if you can answer that, ma.
Yes. So I would, yes, it's possible for you to go through. Healing is a process. And more often than not, you don't even realize the point at which you're healed. You just wake up one day and realize that, oh, this thing is.
Oh, God. Hi, guys. We just lost our guest now, but I'm sure she'll be back. She's going to be back. Yeah, she's going to be back. Thank you, guys. Thank you for, yeah, we're going to be having part 2, guys. We are going to be having,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sorry, yes, I was trying, I don't know how the thing just
Yeah, it
went
just
off,
went
but
off.
yes. Yes, so I was saying healing is a journey,
Mm.
right? And I want to liken it to a physical wound so you understand. Sometimes the time it takes for a wound to heal depends on how deep it is. So if you have a plaster on a wound, right? Let's assume this is a wound on your, okay, so I have a wound here, a scar here on my hand. I have so many scars, but this is one scar that happened to me from a surgery. And this scar took 13 years to heal properly. This one here, can you all see it here? This one took 13 years to heal. So now let me tell you what happened before it healed after 13 years. Every time I get impact on it, pain. I feel pain. Anytime you get impact on it. So when you are triggered, it's because the healing is still ongoing and it's not complete. Now, what can you do for yourself in that place? This is where affirmations and staying in contact with your healer helps you. Sometimes you may need to revisit your healer, and sometimes you may need to protect your wound with some level of bandage to avoid impact. It might mean you having people, a support system. It might mean you deciding to cut off from people who trigger you for a while, if you can. It might mean anything. If you notice, if you have something injuring you, you won't want to. There's some kind of injury, they'll tell you don't allow water touch it for a while because you need that time for it to heal. There's some kind of injury, they'll tell you don't go under the sun with this injury. So some you can avoid, some you cannot avoid. But even with the unavoidable ones, you can prepare a plaster, a protection for yourself while you're healing. So those triggers are not because you are less than who you are, or because you're in the process and the process is not yet complete. So yes, it will happen. Sometimes that person that has annoyed you so much, that has hurt you, you believe you have forgiven them, but when you see them, you want to use stick and knock their head. Yes, it's a process.
Wow, thank you so much, ma. Thank you for that great response. I hope that answers your question. Thank you. So if you have any other question, please, guys, you can just type it. If you have any questions, you can just drop it tonight. Yeah, I think we will need to have a part 2 of this. Yeah, I feel we need to have a part 2 of this because there's still a lot to talk about. Yeah, there's some things we need to address and all of that. Yeah. So thank you so much, ma. Thank you for honoring this invite. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for sharing with us from your well. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for giving to the Lord, and thank you for also I mean, I just feel that yeah, we are blessed to have you in this generation, our generation, and for everybody that is here, we are blessed to have you tonight. And honestly, I celebrate you. I honor you. I thank you so much. I thank you so much. Like what you've said tonight it's a lot. It's a whole lot, and it is indeed a blessing and a blessing to others as well. And so thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tochi. I'm glad that you're blessed as well. I really celebrate everyone for joining this live. Thank you guys so much. And I promise you there's gonna be a part two for this. There's gonna be a part two for this. So guys, just watch out for my for my post on this on this handle. Watch out for my post. I'm going to be updating you when this second, the part two is going to come up for this topic. I really want to appreciate you guys, and I want to celebrate you guys. And if I'm not too fast, I want to wish you happy new month in advance. I want to wish you guys happy new month, and I want you guys to just please, if you will need to come back and just listen more, like just soak all of this, because there's a lot that has been said tonight, and I'm sure that we need to really, really, take in these things, meditate on it, and more importantly, what is more important is that we apply all of these things, like we put it into practice, all of this things that has been said tonight. And so by that is how we can grow. It's a continuous thing. You have to stay more with the word. The more you stay in God's presence, the more you're renewed, the more you get better, the more all of those things, it's a process, like she has said, and all of this. So we need to really, really, get in all of these informations, soak them in, meditate on them, and let us put it into practice. I really thank you guys, and I'll be ending this live now. It's been an awesome session with you, Pastor Soma. Thank you so much for coming, ma. I really celebrate you, ma. And for you, my audience, we are having a part two. You want her to come again? Say yes. Say yes, say yes. What you want her to come again? Please say yes. Type yes, big one, capital yes, so that she will know that people are here that want her to come back again. So when I'm telling her, I should not say So guys, say yes, 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 yes. If you want her to come back, I want her to come back. Yes. Someone, 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 yes, 4 yes, 5 yes, 6, 7, 8. If you have 10, then you're coming back. 9, 8. That is 9. 10. You are coming back, Mo. You are coming back. You are coming back. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. It's been an awesome time tonight with everybody, with God, and I'm sure that God is working in us. See, God has started working in us. Trust me, like all of these words, they are seed, and God is working in us. So it may not look like it, right? It may not look like, oh, baby, there's no fire, we never not fall, But trust me that every word has impact. Every word that is spoken tonight, it has impact on us, and it's going to change us. It's going to transform us. Thank you guys so much. I really, really, our daughter says yes. Yes, everybody knows that. Our daughter wants her to come back. So we celebrate you guys, and thank you guys so much. See you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. For summer, we have more than 10 years, and you're coming back. You're coming back. You're coming back. Part two, guys. Thank you so much, and have a lovely evening. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ma.